So yeah, bro. So tell me about that, right? Like for someone that has 100 and how many thousand followers? 100 and
Only on 138.
100.
I'm really sad about it.
Really? Why?
Just because like I feel like with the effort I put in, like it should be higher. But I'm gonna just.
But that's interesting, huh? You have 130. You kind of been staying there, right? But your engagement is insane.
So I was at 136 for the last 6 months, and I can tell you why I've been stuck there.
I'm stuck as well, by the way.
And I feel like the thing is like you're trying to do more than you need to. And one thing I realized recently was every business owner. I heard this from the CEO of Raw, my boy Dom, and Dom said it. It's like a lot of like as a business owner, your worst enemy is yourself. And the reason why is you're constantly chasing.
It's true.
You're constantly chasing. When am I going to fucking grow? When am I going to get 1,000 new followers? When that 136K people are already invested into you, they're like, oh, yo, this guy's like not really like giving us attention. Like we could see that he's trying to go for the next viral video. And if you think about it, if you just think about the 136,000 followers and take care of them, respond to DMs, have conversations with people, remember people's names when you meet them in person, they'll just be like, yo, you know what? Jeff's a genuine guy. You should go follow him. Or, yo, Jeff's like a really good coach. Go work with him. And that's the biggest battle is like, if you feel like you've been stuck, I feel like I've been stuck. It's because 100%. Maybe the engagement that we're not giving enough engagement to the current audience, which we should be doing.
It's like misalignment. We're trying to chase this number, but realistically, the fruit of the labor is actually in what we currently have and growing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when did you like unattach yourself from getting more followers?
In the last few months.
Okay.
In the last few months.
What did you do differently then?
Honestly, I want to say, realistically, in the last few months, I've still been dialing in on like keeping my engagement high because you said that you said that you see my engagement is high. I just feel like I just need to cut off like loose ends. You know what I mean? Like, don't spread yourself too thin. Saying yes to every single person. Saying yes to every single business opportunity. When like you need to focus on like what is paying the bills all the day, every day. You could ask your dad this. Like, imagine like you ask your dad like, Dad, what do you do for a living? For 27 years, I worked for the same factory.
So true.
Never missed a bill. Never missed a single payment. Never missed bills. And he worked there for 27 years. If your dad was like, oh, I'm working here. I'm going to do a part-time job here. I'm going to do a part-time job here. Next thing you know, you're like, Dad, how come I don't have any food? It's, well, no, I'm still waiting for the bills to come in.
You know, it's interesting, bro. Maybe I feel like this is our generation right now, that there's so many options that working hard has become so much harder, but it's not harder. It's because there's so many options. So they're running in a circle. It's like a hamster in a hamster wheel. Yeah. Same with everything. It's not just like business. It's all aspects of life. It's like in the dating world. It's in food. It's like, bro, it's everywhere. There's so many options.
Yeah.
That they're not sticking to one thing, and they're not feeling like they're growing because of that. It's like they're spreading themselves too thin.
It's crazy because there's different circles in life, right? Like there's a circle of life where people are going out drinking.
Yeah.
Then there's people going out getting girls. Yeah. And there's people going out there building businesses.
Yeah.
And all three of these people share something in common. They don't know how to lock it down to one thing. Because they're constantly circling around. What's the next bar? Who's the next girl? Where's the next business venture? But in reality, like I feel like in that what I learned in the last few months is I need to focus all in on my business, right? Even my buddy Aaron Spivak, I worked for him when he was running his family business, Revitasize. You've heard
You work for Spivak?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Years ago.
I know him very well.
Years ago. So
when he was working before Hush, you're saying.
So this is way before Hush.
That is insane.
Way before Hush.
What did you do for him?
So I just worked at Revitasize. I was like,
what's that?
Revitasize is like their organic juice company. So I was working there right out of college with my personal training job. And then Aaron at the time was always telling me, if you want something to grow, you got to go all in on the one business.
And he did that.
And anybody could search him right now.
Yeah, you can. You know
search
the numbers.
Search up Aaron Spivak and this guy...
Killed it. 28, 29 years old before his exit.
Yeah, 40 mil, I think, or 30
mil. 40 mil, yeah.
Yeah, 30, 40 mil.
Fucking insane.
And I always call him up for advice too nowadays, just because I want to make he's
a pillar of your, why not?
He's done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he has the experience to really back up what he's talking about, right?
So dude, let's talk about this. For This is, and by the way, for people that are watching and tuning in, genuinely, I wanted to bring you in because I'm curious. I don't even know like how you got to this point. So in my head, I'm like, bro, I see you online, and I'm sure people feel this way. They're like, bro, they see like you're very successful. They want what you have. You have the followers, you have the engagement. They see you building the community. They see you on the road with Nell. They see you around like these big stars. But what we don't know is like, who are you before that? You say these words like milk bag. People, it's like, how are you a milk bag? We don't see that. You're a fucking, you look crazy. You have the greatest physique, right? Everyone's trying to be like you in certain ways. But who was like Jeff, like starting off? Like, what were you like in high school? What was your like childhood like? What was your family like? That's what I want to know.
That's the crazy part is like I'm still trying to like figure it out and like how to properly say it, right? Like I feel like I jump on like this is my second podcast ever in my life.
Wow.
But doing YouTube,
I'm honored.
Yeah, doing YouTube, I'm always just like, how do I tell my story? Like, who am I? Like, how do I tell people without going over the edge?
Right.
Because there's so much information, right?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like you were like, you got into the athletic stuff, like the gym stuff at a very young age and you were super interested in it? Or is it like you were a fat kid and you're like, fuck, I hate my life and now I'm going to start getting into the...
I was called fat once. And I remember after this time I was called fat, I went for a run outside. Like right afterwards. I went and ran down the street and I was suffering. Wow. And then after that I was like, yo, I gotta stop doing this. Like I gotta fix myself up. Like I don't want to be known as a fat.
One time you got called fat and it was like, that was it.
Like I was getting chirped and like
everyone gets chirped.
Yeah, everyone gets chirped on the street. Like I would be going outside and everyone would be like, oh, yo, Tubby's out. Like, you know what I mean? Like not immediately, but like the chirps would fly. And then just that one time, I don't know, it just stuck to me. And I'm like, yo, I need to like actually take
How old were you?
Bro, it was like maybe grade 5.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy that it triggered you at a young age like that and it made you like shift and change.
Yeah. And then grade 7, that's when I started to notice myself lose weight. I was in my parents' garage just doing banded workouts. And then when I got to high school, I just was like, yo, I like working out.
So you were pretty fit by the time you kind of were in high school.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd say so. But I was definitely a fat kid. Like
before that.
Okay. That's where the milk bag came from. And the reason why I started milk bag was because as a kid, prior to going on that run outside and gassing out, I'd eat a sleeve of cookies every night. And I'd eat cookies and milk every single night. I wouldn't go to bed without having cookies and milk. And milk bag because... Bro, do you remember getting your parents would get that 3-pack? And that's how I felt back then. So that's what it was.
But it's so interesting, right? It's funny how like who we are as adults, a lot of it is just like traumas of what happened when we were kids. Like similar for me, my past, like, bro, I got bullied in high school. Like I lost my mother. So I use a lot of that pain to like get into to find my passion and go all into it.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at a lot of these stories that are like the most successful people, a lot of it comes from like pain, right?
Yeah.
It's like the fuel for them to kind of keep going.
And what's crazy now is like obviously observing people on social media, it almost seems that what's crazy is people are faking trauma. Can you call it out when you see it?
I'm trying to think, as you said it, do I know of anyone that's been like faking it? I know people use it to like promote themselves to make more money from it by getting more engagement. But I can't think of an individual or someone. You think of a few people?
Yeah, I can think of a few.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. But no, it's crazy because like it's the truth. A lot of people have some sort of backstory of like they were either bullied or they
use that as the thing to talk about.
Or they felt insecure. And like I tried doing it and I can't because I feel like I'm faking it.
You know it doesn't sound authentic.
No. But being a milk bag is as authentic as it could get because that was real. That was real. 2% milk every night.
With cookies.
Yeah, with cookies. Which cookies or with cookies?
No, with cookies. Right? You had a sleeve of cookies
every night.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. When did you let's fast forward. You know, you were a milk bag as a kid. Got into school. You were pretty athletic, right?
Yeah.
When did you make that decision of like, yo, I love this thing, which is going to the gym and I'm going to pursue it? Did you get into coaching or did you have glorious athletics right away? Like, how did that transition happen?
So, first of all, I wasn't athletic. I swear to you, I wasn't athletic. Like, I remember the first year of high school, I tried out for the football team because I was like, yo, I'm down for football. Bro, tell me how the coach comes in and is like, yeah, guys, you guys are out here for the tryouts, but the school's not having a team this year. I was like, what? I'm like, what's the point of this? And apparently we didn't do it because we didn't have enough players. Like I went to St. Martin's in Mississauga. It was all soccer players, hockey players. Nobody was down to play football. So long story short was I thought that football was going to be my chance to like be athletic. That didn't happen. I played basketball. I'm too short to play it. Like you can't be 5'9", and my body type, I was playing center.
You were bigger, right?
Yeah, no one's being a center at 5'9".
Yeah.
So then I played one season, and then after that I was like, yo, I'm just gonna work out because at the time I was watching like YouTube videos of like the OGs like Rob Lipset, Matt Ogus, a little bit of Christian Guzman.
I'm not in this world. I know Christian who's Alpha Land, right? So
Alpha
these
League.
are like fitness guys on YouTube.
These guys are fitness influencers.
Okay.
So I was watching those guys. I was like, yo, I really like how they do things. Like I like working out, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is my path. Working out is my path. Maybe I want to become a trainer. And then going to after school programs in high school, training with like the strength and conditioning coach. I got to learn a lot with them. Like we were training very functional, similar to how I train today. And that's because of how I trained before, right? I didn't lose track of it. I did bodybuilding training after. I did all these different things, but functional training always stood to me, right? And it always sticked. So
Interesting. Yeah.
basically,
So that's when you say you weren't athletic, you were built, but you weren't like fast.
Yeah,
that's what
there's
you
a
mean.
difference. Yeah, there's a
'Cause
difference
For me, I'm
from-
like, what you were going to the gym. You were doing it for.
that's not athletic.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a
okay. For
difference.
people that don't, there's a
Yeah,
difference.
for people that don't know,
You could look fucking big and physically like strong,
but if you tell them to run, they can't run.
Right.
Back then, I couldn't run. Back then, if I put the treadmill beyond 3, I'd be like,
You
oh
gassed
shit,
the
this
fuck
is a
out.
jog, right? So it was
By the
definitely
way,
different.
I feel like that as well. So I understand. Like I understand there's a difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, keep going with the story.
Where was I? So I got into working out after school
Yeah.
programs. After that, I went to college for business administration. I went to George Brown, and my mom was
So
like,
why did you do that?
because my mom and dad. My mom was like, you need to do this. Like,
Is that a Filipino thing? Like you gotta
I
finish
guess.
everyone.
Yeah, you gotta finish school. So I went into it, but I would always like not be in tune in class. Like I'd miss class because I was training clients and all that.
Oh, so you were still making money from training at that point.
I
as well.
had just started.
Okay.
Had just started.
What were you charging people back then?
Like $30 an hour.
Fuck.
Yeah, 30.
That was
bucks.
1,000 an hour.
Yeah, but yeah, it was 30. It's $30 it was $30 an hour back then, and then I was training people, and then
In Saga.
in Saga.
Where
I
would
was
you do it?
Training people out of their
Their house?
garage, out of their house. I sneak into gyms, pretend I'm just a guest. I'm training them, looking over my shoulder like
To
left,
see
right,
if
and
there's
center.
anyone.
And then right when I got to my final year of college, I believe it was 3 years, and my third year, I was working as a personal trainer, also working at Starbucks, also working at Revitalize. So I was growing,
Wow.
like during college, I was working jobs plus trying to grow my personal training business.
So that was the thing you wanted to go all into. You still wanted to do personal training. That was like the dream.
The biggest dream was to do social media, do fitness, and have my own brand, which is Glorious Athletics.
And at the time, you were inspired by all these guys on YouTube. So that's why the social media aspect with the fitness aspect really was like inspiring to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
How old were you at this point?
So this is right after, this is third year college. I went to college I did an extra year of high school. How old is that? Like 18,
18,
19?
19, yeah.
Yeah, 18, 19. That's when all of it started.
Kind of slowly progressing.
Started to slowly progress. I've been trying to do like YouTube for a very long time. During that time when I was working at Starbucks, I remember I made a post saying like, oh, yo, I'm going to start my YouTube channel. Didn't post a single video. And
I think everyone started it, or they did one video and then they never did it.
Yeah, and they
again.
never did
Yeah.
it. And then that when I was working at Starbucks, I was doing overnight shifts. An owner from a gym called SWAT came in and was like, yo, like, weren't you working like yesterday when I finished my shift? I was like, yeah. He's like, bro, you're still here. And I'm like, yeah.
He came to Starbucks as a client and said this.
Yeah. And then he seen my work ethic. I was showing up to work all the time, and he brought me in. He was like, yo, like, I want you to be a personal trainer for me. So that's where I learned all my knowledge.
From him specifically?
No, that whole team. So SWAT Health is owned by Dave Gioni, Darcy Brown, Kyle Lardell. They brought me in, and I was a complete sponge. Like, I just learned everything. Learning how to work with people that had previous injuries, recovering injuries, teaching people how to get yoked, because I knew that watching YouTube and doing the training I was doing.
You probably were so inspired walking into that like space and being like the young kid learning. You're like, bro, this is my dream, and these guys are gonna teach me now.
No, dude.
What was that like?
It was crazy because they were always talking about like, yo, this weekend there's gonna be this program. Next weekend there's gonna be this program. I looked at the price. I'm like, bro, I can't afford that. I can't afford like a $800 program.
Yeah.
So what I would do is the people that would go in and do that certification, I'd take them out for lunch that week.
Yo, this guy was hustling.
Yeah, and I would just take them out for lunch
them.
and just ask them everything I need to know.
You would pay their food to get the knowledge that they received.
Yeah.
And what was the reason why they would pay $800? Because they were personal trainers as well, they were trying to.
Yeah, they wanted all the knowledge.
Bro.
Yeah.
How long did you do that for?
I was working there for under a year.
Wow.
And after that year,
Sick.
After that year working there was like obviously a conflict of me training my own clients outside of the gym, because I was still trying to grow my personal training business. Right. And then I would miss some clients there. So it was a big conflict of interest. So like,
Like the gym owner would be like, bro,
why you miss your clients?
Yeah.
It's like, well, he didn't know I was staying up late at night training other clients.
You wouldn't tell them.
Yeah. I couldn't tell him. And then so that chapter ended. I'm still good with them now to this day. And that's when I went full throttle with my personal training business. And that's when I started training people out of their condos. I would ask people for key fobs. So once I left SWAT, which was like 2019, beginning of 2019, that's when I started Glorious Athletics, which is like my personal training business. Started training people out of their condos, training people. Yeah, condos was the way.
No place, yeah.
Yeah. And then when COVID hit, I had already built my relationship with Kyle during the time that I was training people. COVID hit. I went out to LA.
By the way, before you get into that, because that's a whole... I'm very inspired of what happened there. So at this point, though, was the Instagram like blown up? Like, did you blow up on Instagram? No. Was there traction at all before like you even met Kyle, or...
No.
Nothing?
No, it was like at 2,000 followers.
Wow. Yeah. But you were still very much involved with the fitness world. Like you were doing the training and everything.
Dude,
were you on social media? Were you posting at all?
Yeah, I was posting on Instagram for sure.
What would be the difference from the content back then to where you're...
Bro, back then, like, there'd be crazy filters on there. And like there'd be crazy title text on every exercise. Like it's crazy because I feel like
it was like highly edited stuff
for no reason. For no reason. So it was super
crazy how that's different now.
Yeah, it's completely different. But I was already doing social media back then. That was like the mission, is in order for me to get more clients, I have to post on social. Right. And it was working. And then
even with 2,000 followers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know people who have like 6,000 followers, 10,000 followers who are making like 300 grand a month.
Wow. Yeah. From fitness.
Yeah, from fitness.
Like doing clients.
Just doing
specifically
clients.
Like training clients.
And what I learned was they're doing ads. They're spending a lot of time on ads.
But how is that scalable when you're one person? You could only take so many clients. I guess it's like anything, supply and demand.
No, when you're making 300 grand a month,
you have people under you.
You're at that point, you'd be stupid to not be paying off someone to help you with X, 100%. Right?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. So Instagram hasn't blown up. What about knowledge and information of what you were doing? Were you good?
Yeah, I was good.
Okay.
I was good with my knowledge for sure, just because I knew what my intention was. Any room like I would step into. The reason why I even got the job at Starbucks is a lot of rich people go to Starbucks, right?
You were intentional about...
I was very intentional about working at Starbucks because I knew that people going in and out were people that lived in Port Credit. If you guys are familiar with Saga, Port Credit is rich.
I lived there, yeah.
Yeah. So I was intentional with working there to potentially get clients who are willing to pay a top dollar, right? So I was in there.
Did that plan work?
It did work for a little bit. And then, the social media thing, it just kept on being a thing. I was like, I need to grow this shit. Because like I was inspired by watching XYZ. At this point, I didn't finish school.
Right.
I like
When you say school, you didn't finish college.
yeah, I didn't finish college.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I dropped out of my last semester.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I was working at SWAT at the time, and my
And
boss.
so
was,
your parents were like, Jeff, what the fuck are you doing?
I just kept on egging it. I kept
really?
on egging. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm almost done. And I remember my boss at SWAT was like, "Didn't you say that like you have exams this week? Why are you training your client? It's 6 a.m." I was like, "Yo, I'm not finishing that shit."
Okay, so at some point, your parents caught on to what happened. When did that conversation happen of like, listen, like I didn't finish school, but like I'm going all into this?
After California.
Okay, so talk to me about that.
Yeah. So 2019, I left SWAT. I started training people out of condos. And then I trained this one guy named Kyle Stromedy. So Kyle from Nelk actually introduced me to him. Kyle Stromedy's a big YouTuber.
Okay.
Kids channel. Super underrated.
But how did you meet Kyle? California's after Kyle or before?
Kyle was before California.
Okay.
So Kyle from Nelk.
Yeah.
I met him at a party when I was getting wasted.
Random.
Yeah, random. I used to be a drinker back then. Even when I was a personal trainer, I was still drinking. Even though I was working at Starbucks observing XYZ, I was still down to like drink with the boys.
Yeah.
And then Kyle came around, and then Kyle said he needed a trainer, so I told him to pull up to SWAT. And at the time, he was in and out of LA. He was still living with FaZe Banks guy.
Okay. I guess Nelk wasn't Nelk. The way we see Nelk now, right?
Yeah. He was still big. Like I think he had like 300K followers at the time. But to the level he's at now is crazy. And then I was training him. And then when I got to go to LA to train this Kyle Stromedy guy, Kyle Stromedy got into YouTube boxing. He's like, yo, I need a trainer. And I was already training him. He trusted me. So he's like, yo, I'm going to fly out to LA. And this is 2020 now. This is end of 2019. No, this is 2020. It was April, just when COVID just started. He's like, yo, I need a trainer. And I'm like, all right, yo, this is my rate. Like, I want to get the fuck out of Canada because it's COVID.
Right.
I told him, he was like, all right, yo, I could afford you for 2 months. Come pull up.
What's his name? Kyle?
Stromedy.
Okay. How many, like, who is he again?
Kid channel on YouTube.
Kid channel YouTube.
He does kid content on YouTube.
I can't put a face to it, maybe.
Yeah, but anyone that does a kids channel show, they're making a killing.
Okay.
So I go out to LA. I'm there my first week. He told me I'm gonna have my own room. Bruh, I was sleeping in a closet.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no joke. I was sleeping in a closet.
Like, did he like screw you kind of in a way, or?
I think he just overpromised.
Right.
And he didn't really take into the reality. I don't think he did on intentionally. Right. He's just a guy that has a lot going on.
Did he pay you at least?
Yeah, he paid me for the first month. So he paid me the first month. So that covered my flight to go to LA. But during this time, I'm just like thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna have to suck it up because I want to grow my socials. I'm in LA. Everything's shut down back home. It's COVID. So,
which technically, if you think about it, that's not like that long ago. You know what I mean?
No, it's 5 years ago. Yeah.
That's not like that long ago. It's 5 years ago. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So then I'm preparing this guy for a YouTube boxing fight. He's so busy with making content for his YouTube because he needs to make money. I trained him once.
In the month? One time?
Yeah. So I had all this dead time, right? But I'm over there. I'm like, yo, I'm in LA. What the fuck? Why am I going to just be dead with my time?
Yeah.
So then I started thinking, I'm like, hey, yo, I'm a personal trainer. This is the only way I can make money. Let me start hitting people up. So I hit people. I know a lot of people. And I hit up my tattoo artist. I'm like, yo, can you connect me with this person? I looked through my Instagram. I found another person. I'm like, yo, you know this, you follow this person. Can you connect me with this person? Next thing you know, I'm training Smiley from OVO before he blew up with Drake. Got to train the Bentley brothers, Levi and Kai Bentley. Yeah. And then Kyle was always going to be there because I trained him already. So during that time.
So whenever Kyle was in LA, you'd hang out with him. Right. And then
he lived in Orange County, so he's an hour away.
Yeah.
But he was traveling a lot. So during that dead time, what I ended up doing was I hit up Smiley, started training Smiley like every day. And then I started creating a schedule for myself. Then I started training Levi. Then I started training Kai because Levi introduced me to his brother. And then whenever Kyle would be in town, like in Orange County, I would drive an hour from LA to Orange County to train him, then come back home. Like,
how would you drive? So this
is the next story. So all the money I was making from this Stromedy guy, I was using it towards renting a car.
just to go to Orange County to train him.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty much a Hail Mary at the end.
Not even just Orange County, like just to train the other guys in the city.
In general, yeah.
Yeah. I was renting cars. Fucking that shit was running me up hard. That
Like
10K,
it's not like you were making money like crazy too. Like this was like every dollar counted.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for me was like if Smiley posted me or if Levi or Kai posted me, obviously my following would grow.
How many followers did you have at this point in Los Angeles?
I was almost at 10K at that point.
Okay, so you were slowly growing.
Yeah, like once I got to LA, it started really growing.
Shit popped off a little
Yeah,
bit.
it started growing. Everyone was like so interested, like, oh, what's this story?
Yeah. So tell me about this. This is where I think a lot of people will get a lot of value from this. What was going through your head at this time? Were you like upset? Were you like fucking scared? Were you like,
No.
you didn't give a fuck and you just had ambition and you had hustle and you were like, I'm just gonna fucking make this happen? And you were excited because you were in LA? Like, what was the feeling of like when you were there going through all this?
When I was going through all of that, I didn't have one bit to be like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm scared. Because if you're scared, you can't really think thoroughly.
Right.
Right. So the only thing I was thinking about was like, how do I build and how do I use my network? How to use the network I'm building in LA to continue living on out here in LA? Or how do I make a living and how do I continue doing my coaching?
It was more about like solution problems. Like, how do I figure this out?
Yeah, I've always been about solution. And I think that's what has taken me to the level I'm at now is like, I never want to be too scared.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that I won't be able to, like, even Kobe said it. Kobe said, he's like, yo, you never think through emotion because when you think through emotion,
you can't think logically. You can't make the right decisions.
Exactly. But during that time, I was just like, who do I know? How do I expand more? I'm looking at someone. How do I get to that person that I want to start training XYZ? After like Levi and Kai and Smiley, even though I was training these guys and I was training Kyle, I wasn't complacent like, oh, yo, I'm good. I was still trying to think, who else could I train that?
Like it wasn't, yeah. Most people would have been like, I'm training the biggest people. Like I'm set.
Yeah, I didn't let that get to my head at all. And a lot of people back home, like everyone's like, yo, you made it, bro. Like this and that. I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm still fucking renting cars and XYZ. By the way, when that car, once I like was really burning money from renting cars, I got to meet this one black guy. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. Super, super nice guy. He was making meals for Kyle Stromedy.
Okay.
Super nice guy.
Like his chef, kind of.
Yeah. Super nice guy. He seen the grind that I was doing. He seen me coming out of the
sleeping in the closet.
Seeing my conditions. And I told him like, yo, like this is my situation. I'm trying to rent. I'm struggling to rent a car. But he ends up giving me an old 2001 Honda Accord. Uninsured.
You're kidding.
And I was I didn't know that it was uninsured until like maybe like my second month.
I'm sure
driving.
even if he told you wouldn't have given a shit. You would have been like, sure, I'll take it.
No. My dad, for insurance is everything, bro.
Really?
Yeah. My dad, like instilled
that, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So he gave you his car. Was it the car he was using, or he probably had an extra car?
No, he just had an extra car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're training all these big guys. You're in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing you have to come back home, right?
So after month 1, Kyle says, yo, I don't need training anymore. Clearly, I only trained him once. So he can't even pay me the second month.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there like...
But you're still sleeping in his closet.
Yeah. That sounds weird as hell. That sounds like a Diddy thing. Yeah, I'm still sleeping on the couches. I'm sleeping in one of the closets in the house. And then he's like, yo, we're all going to just like dip out. Like, I don't think LA's built for me. And I'm like, I don't want to go home yet. Like, what the fuck? So I called Kyle from Nelk and I'm like, yo, this is my situation. I don't want to go back home. I'm trying to build myself. I'll personally train you full time. No money. Don't
just
pay
give me a fucking place to sleep.
Let me crash on your couch. And he's like, all right, yo, I'll do it for a month. And I'm staying there for 5 months.
In Cali.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know this.
And then during that 5 months, it was like very like it got to a point where it was either I was gonna come back home to Toronto or I was gonna actually become a US citizen.
Oh, you were like considering it.
Yeah. Because I was training Kyle full time, and then Kyle seen, he was like, yo, like, I'm not even paying you. Like, how are you making money? And what I was doing to make money, even though I wasn't getting paid from Kyle, was I was doing small brand deals on social media for like $1,000
here and there.
I was personal training people virtually
from home, from Toronto.
No, from California.
Okay.
So like when I would travel with Kyle, I would stay in the hotel and train someone for an hour or two.
How would you do that? You just randomly.
Virtually online. Like I'd pull my laptop out, demonstrate the exercise on camera.
But where would you get the clients? You would message them on Instagram.
Yeah, I'd post out like, yo,
I'm looking.
Who needs the virtual clients? Because even though I'm in California in 2020 and moving around left, right, and center, everyone was still stuck at home in Toronto. So I was able to train people virtually, and everyone's like, oh shit, this guy's like training people in LA. This is pretty good. And obviously I was a good trainer because of my experience. That's what I know. I could train people with my eyes closed. I could train this guy from my peripheral right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
that's not the hard part for you.
That's not the hard part. So yeah, I ended up staying there for 5 months.
By the way, in this time frame now, you're in 5 months in LA. Are you, because I know at this point, I'm guessing Nelco's also like fucking popping off.
Yeah.
Are you traveling with them around the world?
Yeah.
You're not just in LA then. You're traveling now.
Yeah.
You're like their guy. You're their fitness guy.
I wanted to become Kyle's like main guy.
Okay. So talk to me about that experience.
It was dope. It was obviously, everyone thinks, he was like, yo, do they just drink 24 hours, like 24/7? It's like, no, they don't drink 24/7. They drink when they need to. But one thing about Kyle that not everyone knows is Kyle actually loves this fitness shit. Like, he loves it. Like, he would always have talks with me like, yo, I want to go sober. And I'm like, bro, you can't go sober. Like,
that's not your brand.
That's not your brand. But he really, really loves.
He's the one guy that going sober would actually make him lose millions of dollars.
So much money. But he just loves training, right? And I don't blame him. I love training myself, right? But he was so like advocate about like, yo, we need to work out at 6 a.m. Yo, can we do another session later in the afternoon? XYZ. And yeah, I was able to travel different parts of the world during that time, which is really dope. Yeah.
So at this point, what was your like follower count? Did your socials grow? Like what was it?
It started growing for sure.
Okay.
It hit 10K and then 10K started growing. I think by the time I got back to Toronto, which was like October of that year, October 2020, I believe I got my following at 16K.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about this. Like, what did you learn about yourself during that time? You know, the 5 months that you were there, you were like sleeping on couches at like 18, 19 years old. You're not getting paid that much, but what was the biggest like turning point for you? What was the biggest lessons that you learned in that time frame?
That it's possible to get whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Right? Even though like I wasn't making.
Because back home, people were looking at you probably being like, bro, you are doing it now. Like, you're in it. You know?
But what people didn't know, I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
Right? But I was still working. I was still grinding. I knew I had to really sacrifice points of my life, which I was, in order for me to get more exposure on social. Right? And it's crazy because people are like, yo, you're probably making so much money. It's like, I wasn't.
You have no idea.
I sacrificed a lot just so I could get the light.
Right.
Right? And then October came and I came back home and I remember seeing my parents and my mom was like, I haven't seen my mom in forever. Right? And I was like, shit, like, I don't think I could be affording to travel like this.
Exactly.
And then that's
like, as in, because you're close with your family, you want to be back home, you want to be able to see your mom and stuff. Yeah,
for sure. And my parents are getting old too, so I'm like, I need to be with them. And
this isn't what I want. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think a lot of people think there's like a lot more to it in regards to like, yo, like, what was your life like? And XYZ. It was like, yeah, I was training one of the biggest YouTubers at the time. For sure, it was incredible to see because I was even watching how Kyle even moves with his team, right? So this whole thing, when I worked at Starbucks, trying to position myself, watching how rich people order their coffee and who I might be able to potentially train, I was watching Kyle on how he was structuring navigating his business, navigating, making decisions, and doing XYZ. So even though I wasn't getting paid, I was still getting knowledge.
And that's what people don't realize, bro. I think you sacrificing short-term money, let's just say let's say they were giving you 10 grand a month. I bet to this day, you'd probably look back and be like, fuck the 10 grand a month. Give me the knowledge instead.
Well,
right?
That's what I told Kyle. I'm like, don't pay me.
Right. Because I want to be around you.
Yeah.
Because you saw that as being way more valuable than any money he was going to give you.
100%. And the biggest thing is I was able to actually build like a genuine relationship with him. Right. And like, I think that's what was the biggest thing is like.
That's huge.
Yeah. The relationship means more than anything. Right.
I agree with that.
And that's what I've always learned was like, you building relationship first, putting that first before
Money
money,
will come. Yeah.
money will come.
I've done this myself as well, where it's like I've taken people out to dinner that are like at a level I want to be at, and I've paid for the dinner because it's like I value that way more than the 2 hour conversation, way more than any money that I would end up spending.
Yeah, yeah.
You probably looked at it the same
Yeah,
way.
yeah, for sure.
So October, you're back in Toronto. The COVID's done, I'm guessing, or it's like
in and
whatever.
out.
It's getting close to being done. I'm guessing Glorious athletics at that point was the thing.
Glorious, I started pushing more. And then once I got home, I was like, all right, I'm not going back to California. I'm staying back home. Started personal training again, training people in person, and then really trying to push my social now because I'm like, hey, I'm at 16K. How do I make
Scale this thing.
How do I scale this? How do I get more followers? So I started like really pushing my social media posts. I remember when I was living in California, Salim the Dream came to the backyard and he had seen me just train Kyle in the morning, train him in the morning. And he seen me in the backyard editing my videos. He was like, yo, you're like serious about this. And I was like, yeah. He's like, yo, like I can see you really like blowing it up. And hearing that words of encouragement actually pushed me. So shout out to Salim for that. But back to the story about like came back home, started personal training. And I just wanted to just grow my personal training business. And it wasn't anywhere crazy, but I was training people. I had the clientele coming in. That's when I started doing online coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So online coaching, that's when I really started pushing more content about like, hey, I'll give you a program. You pay X amount. You get a workout program. You get a meal plan. You follow it. We get you to your goal. That's what I was pushing. And then also pushing my personal training.
So you've always had the online coaching. It's just like people maybe see it now, but you've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it just naturally like grew as time went on.
Yeah. I still have the PDF saved from a while back. It was trash.
Really?
Yeah. It was good.
So what it's not at now,
but
yeah.
to where it's at now, it's trash.
Completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool, bro. So, okay. So you have the online, you have clients, 16K. What really took you off? Like, how did you go from that to like who you are now? Like, what was the biggest turning point? There must have been a moment or something, or maybe it's not. Maybe it was just like, bro, fucking consistency for a very long time.
It was all consistency for a very long time. And in 2021, I remember I had a few videos go viral.
Okay.
And it was workout videos. I've always stuck to workout
because
videos.
you have your own look. You have a unique look, and bro, you just fucking. I've never seen someone more consistent than you. You don't miss a beat, bro. It's like it's consistent, and some people might look at it. It's like the same. It's like, but bro, this is what's worked for you.
Yeah. Well, even I remember studying Ashton Hall recently.
Okay.
At Ashton Hall, people are like, "How do you blow up?" If you actually look at it, this guy's been doing the same exact videos forever.
I didn't know that.
He's been doing the same videos forever.
Like, you mean the running videos?
Running videos, the workout videos, and then one thing went viral, and he just kept on making the same videos, the same style videos. The video that went viral for him was obviously the morning wake up, 5 a.m.
Exactly
banana
that.
peel. So he was doing all these videos so consistently that one video went viral, and after that video went viral of the banana peel, he kept on making more of that style, but just different outfits,
right?
Different settings. So if you're someone that's doing social media, like if you want to do it, don't go out of the extreme where you like put yourself in an opportunity to get canceled or put anyone at harm, but like be consistent with like what you want to build. And I feel like you will eventually just catch traction. In 2021, when my video went viral, it was a fitness video. I've been doing fitness videos for X amount of time.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is the thing because a lot of people could find value in this. A lot of people, they could do the consistency thing. Most people actually struggle. I'd say a majority of people struggle with consistency.
Because people immediately, if they don't see an outcome within the first 4 months.
They don't see a win. They feel like it's not good. They quit, right? Yeah. But how do people, like, how did you figure out your angle? How did you figure out this is like my thing and I'm just going to keep doing with that thing? What did
people continue paying me for? Personal training, fitness. That's when I knew I was like, this is my career. If someone looked at my image,
so whatever the fuck it was, just post training videos and then figure out your lane, right?
Yeah, just continuously post training videos, workout videos, and it will just eventually snap. And I remember in 2021, that's when my videos started catching traction. I remember seeing my video get 100K once. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is insane. 100K? And I started doing more of those same exact videos. The next, another 100K video. And the way the algorithm works is if you have a video go 100K, you want to follow that route where that video went viral.
But bro, this is so important because you've done something, bro. I even now got inspired by it. Like I started thinking for myself, I'm like, fuck, I should be doing more of this, even though I do it, but not as much as I should be doing it. When you had 2,000 followers, nothing changed. You're gonna understand what I'm gonna say about this, and probably now nothing has changed, which is you still comment on people, you still have conversations with people, that are messaging you, and that has been your like 80-20 rule, which has gotten people like if you look at Jeff's like Instagram, he has like insane engagement. I said it before. You have a shit ton of comments, a lot of people that like your stuff and love your stuff. And that's because you've been able to build a fan base because you've just been replying to people. You've engaged with people.
So that's the thing is once my page started growing, I went from 16K, then I seen 20K, then I seen 30K, then I seen 40, then obviously touching 100K. I think last year I think it was last year. I finally hit 100K on Instagram. And the one thing I've learned, even like my girlfriend, for example, shout out Gina, she's really blown up significantly. I think she's going to touch 1 million this year just on Instagram.
Wow.
And I even watched how she does her stuff. Mm-hmm. I watched how Kyle did his stuff. And engaging with your audience is the most important thing when you're growing. Is because don't just do it just to do it, but do it because
you care.
You care.
Yeah.
These are the people that fuck with you who wake up every single day waiting to see what is Alexi going to post today. Oh, okay, what is his stories going to be today? I want to learn more about him. And XYZ. So once I started growing, my girl was like, yo, you need to respond to all your DMs. You need to respond back to all your comments. And I started doing it. I'm in and out with it.
Of course, because you also have hundreds of thousands of people, but you still do it. That's the difference.
I wouldn't say it's just because it's 100,000 people. I think I just deserves more of my attention and time, which I have lost in the last few months.
Okay.
Right. But to my point of the importance of building community is when you're growing to this extent, the biggest thing is we had this conversation earlier is when you think if your parents were to take you to a bakery shop, your dad might be like, yo, we're going to go to Sal's bakery. He's like, why are we going to go there? He's like, oh, I know Sal. You go in there. Sal's like, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Knows your name knows you by your first name. Knows every single person that comes in and out of that bakery shop and says, hey, welcome to my bakery. Whatever you want. Here, what do you think about doing? Okay, get this option. He has the same level of commitment to every single customer that comes in there. So you got to think about your social media the same way that Sal would think about his bakery shop. Sal knows every single person. So just because you grow to an X amount, you shouldn't be that guy that's like, oh, yo, I don't know who he is. Like, the fuck? You should know
who they are.
Know who they are.
Be interested. Be curious on who they are.
Exactly. Because you never know what opportunity could come out of that. Yeah. And don't be an opportunist, but just like you never know what the opportunity that could come from behind that.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I don't think come from a place of like, let me talk to them because eventually I could get paid from them. Yeah. But care because at the end of the day, you just never know. And
bro, the fact that someone's taking time out of their day
and they like you and they're fan of you, bro. Exactly.
Yeah. So I know where I need to reposition myself with my branding now. Which is in the last few months, I haven't really been as engaging as I was in the past.
Right.
When I was really growing.
Okay.
Right.
So you're saying you're making a slight pivot and going back and engaging more now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. The next few months, my biggest projects are Gloria's Athletics. Right. I want to grow just that brand, and that's my biggest focus. Nothing else.
But you've done something that's very well. I think if people follow you, I'm sure they've seen this. You've done an incredible job, bro, on building a community. Mm-hmm. That's the stuff I want to learn. Like, how did you get from, okay, I'm this face online to like, now let me start actually like doing run clubs. Let me start getting more people involved in person. One, where did that like thought process come from? And two, why did you do it? And like, how did you do it?
So obviously, my biggest focus point is the brand Gloria's Athletics. I'm this fitness guy online. I do social media. I started running last year.
That was a new thing.
So I started running, and I ran a few times here and there, but I started running last year a lot, like
any reason?
Significantly more.
Is there a reason for it?
Just because I was in downtown. My boy Matt Militante, he's a DJ. His name is Who Is Millie, and Millie was like, "Yo, come run," and I'm like, "All right, I'm down." Next thing you know, I fell in love with it. I was like, "Yo, this is hard." And with my brand, I love doing shit that's difficult because I'm down for the challenge. So I started running with him. He seen me blowing up my coaching business, And he seen me blowing up my coaching business, and he seen me blowing up the Glorious brand. And he was like, yo, you should do a run club. I think you have the audience for it. And at first I was like, no, I don't. Like, what do you mean? Because you're your own worst enemy.
So
you're
true.
always going to doubt yourself, right?
So true.
And he's like, no, I think we could do it. Let's do a run club. So he's the one that intended to do the run club because he's like, yo, you're running so much now. It only makes sense. You have a sick brand called Glorious Athletics. Everyone's talking about it in the city because he would be wearing it. And he would go to run clubs. He'd go to like 6 run clubs in a week.
Bro, for you to, I don't know if I've ever told you, bro, every time I go out on the streets, I kid you not, someone's wearing Gloria. At least one person's wearing Gloria.
It's pretty cool.
It's kind of sick.
Yeah. And then, he just told me, he's like, yo, let's go run it. And then at the time, it was last year. It was in May, I believe. I did my first run club. And then I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, what's the logistics? So I knew Matty Unique, Mr. King Street.
Okay.
I hit Matty Unique. I'm like, yo, I'm going to do a run club for my Glorious brand. I'm going to do a drop soon. I want to do something big for the city because I've grown so much on my social media. I'm at like 120K or so. And I'm like, I want to give back to the city. I want to give 50 free shirts to the first 50 people. And this is a shirt that's not even sold or anything.
First time doing a run club.
First time doing the run club. And he was like, yeah, just use my restaurant called Dasha. Perfect. It was like an alleyway, Dasha restaurant. The way I was like, yo, I want to give people free stuff. Next thing you know, I hit up Le Gourmand, which is like the best bakery in the city. And Le Gourmand was like, yo, we'll donate 100 cookies. I'm like, yo, 100, like, I think 20 people are going to show up to this. The next thing you know, everything fell into place, filled in all the cracks. Matty Unique let me use Dasha. I had my 50 shirts ready for the run club, 100 cookies for the 20 people I expected. I pull up there. I was shitting my pants. This is the only time I was scared.
How many people showed up?
I only get scared when I have events, actually.
How many people showed up?
140 people.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it actually blew my mind.
Like, you shit your pants because when you got there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
How many?
Well, I was just shitting my pants because, like, I'm posting this thing on social media, unsure about what the turnout's going to be. I hit up my boy Matty to close off the restaurant early in the morning. I'm asking people to help me pace the crowd because there needs to be pacers so people don't get lost.
What's up? I guess, like, to tell people where it is.
People volunteering to, like, make sure everyone stays aligned. So there's
your boys mostly.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm like pressured because, like, could you imagine I'm putting all this emphasis on, like, yo, this event's going to be
and you're like, this is all for you. Like, this is your first time.
And then 20 people showed up. Imagine if that was the case.
Ah, okay.
And then Matty might look at me and be like, who the fuck is this guy trying to block off my restaurant? And 20 people showed up. So there's a lot of pressure. And then I was grateful enough to see 140 people pull up. And then after that, I did another run club.
What was that feeling like?
It's hard to describe. It's hard to describe because it was the best feeling in the world for sure. Yeah.
Because you probably finally realized, like, holy shit, I do probably, like, I have a brand. Like, people fuck with my shit.
Yeah, people fuck with the brand. People fuck with the movement that I've been doing. And that's when it was a turning point for me.
Okay.
That after that run club, that's when it was the turning point for me to be like, oh shit, like I have something.
Because you've done a few after that, right?
Yeah. And I remember you seeing you posting something recently about people wearing about 100 views.
Yeah. And 100 views, what it looks like.
What 100 people look like in a room.
Yeah.
Right? And that day I was like, holy shit, 140 people decided to take their Saturday off.
Yeah.
And I remember during that time I did that run club, I wanted to do it organically. I didn't want to hit up people and be like, yo, come to my run club. Like, my very first one, I didn't hit up a lot of people. I was just like, yo, here's my post. Boom. Sent it to people that ran. And then after, because I was like, I wanted to see what this is going to actually pull, right? And then after that, it just became a snowball effect. Every time I had a run club, 150 plus people.
What's the biggest, how many people? Because you've done it, I'm guessing you've done it with your girlfriend as well.
I've done it with Gina.
I'm sure that probably was like crazy as well.
That one was like north of 160.
Okay.
And then, I think my biggest one.
160 people running with you on the street.
Yeah. Like I did one this year and I was like.
Were cops there? Like,
no. We got worried. We got worried a few times because we were like, the one I did with my girl, we did it in the
traffic hazard.
Yeah, we did it in the afternoon. We did it like 6 p.m. And I told them, like, yo, we can't do it at 6 p.m. Like, there's cops going to worry about. I like to do shit where cops don't get involved.
Yeah.
And I was doing all those run clubs in the morning on a Saturday morning. And then my girl's like, no, let's do it in the evening. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So we did it. And it was like 6 p.m. And I'm pretty sure there was a concert at Budweiser stage. But it was hectic and chaotic. But yeah, no, the run clubs have been amazing. With Glorious, I just want to focus on more community building stuff because I just want to give back. Anytime, like,
there's an opportunity for giving back, you just take it. Yeah,
exactly.
So I'm guessing this is it circles back to what we said about relationship building. This is the coolest thing I think you've done as well, which is the coffee party. I think it's such a fucking sick idea.
You know how that started, right?
Well, I'm guessing it started with Maddie Unique, right? You built that relationship and then naturally that progressed into it, or like you tell me, like how did that happen?
So the way coffee party started was one of my clients, who's now my boy, Zohib, was like, yo, your run clubs are insane. How do you have like 150 plus people come? Like, how do we turn this into something else? So it was November. It was October, actually. And October...
Last year.
Yeah, last year. It was October last year. And Zoe was like, yo, like, we should do something where, like, it's a party or something. We got to do something that's health-related. He stopped drinking ever since he started training with me. And then he was like, yo, you have a big run club community. Let's go do like, an activation. And it was just a conversation in the cardio machine at Altea. And then next thing you know, he sends me a few inspos on TikTok. I'm like, oh, shit, we should do a coffee party. So Zoe was like the one that started
pushed it. Yeah.
He really pushed it. And then I was like, yo, you know what? Let's hit up Maddie. Maddie has the restaurant. So we got Maddie involved. Maddie's like, sure, let's do it. And then we did it. We got our boy Matt Campoli involved, who is also my real estate agent / Zoe's best friend. So all four of us formed and we're like, yo, let's go do this for the city. Jeff, bring your Glorious Run Club community, which is like 150 plus people.
I'll bring my people, you bring your people.
Exactly.
Naturally, it'll be 500 people.
Exactly. So we all brought in a big chunk of people. And then next thing you know, we did our first coffee party and then fucking it went viral. Like there was like,
viral.
Yeah, there was like 80 people waiting outside in the cold. This is November.
Okay.
This is November that it happened. And then that's when Greg got involved because Greg's a GM for Borrow. And Maddie's like, yo, Greg's going to be a good help because he knows how to operate.
Yeah.
So then we did the first coffee party and there was actually people lining up. And we used the same system that I've used in the past. First 50 plus people.
Get free shit.
Free shit. We used that model. It worked perfectly.
What was the stuff you guys were giving out?
It was a Glorious / coffee party shirt.
Like an exclusive collab shirt.
Exclusive collab shirt. And obviously when people see the Glorious shirts, they're like, oh shit, a free shirt? Shit, yeah. Like I'm down. So that drove a lot of attention. And then people obviously, so once we did that first coffee party, there were so many people in line. People driving up and down King Street, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, it's
more
November.
people got interested. Now the buzz is online.
Yeah. And then after that, we posted the content on social media.
Blew up.
It blew up.
When's the next one happening, actually?
August 30th.
Okay. Also, it's happening soon.
Yeah. So we evolved into a festival series. So now we're doing bigger venues because people complained about lineups and stuff.
Which you can't control.
Yeah, you can't control that in the city. And now we started doing festivals. We did one earlier this year. And we're doing a second one to end off the summer. And then...
What's the goal with this now?
There's a lot. There's a lot for sure.
You got to keep it hush-hush.
Yeah, we got to keep it hush-hush.
Yeah, I think it's a super cool idea, especially, I don't know if you've noticed, but I think this world is headed towards that space, which is like a health world, right? We're kind of like going towards, like, if you look at people now, everyone's just promoting more healthier stuff. So I think it's perfect timing.
So last year was the start of wellness community building.
Yeah.
And it was run clubs. So
it's true, everyone was doing run clubs. Everyone with a brand was doing a run club.
Everyone was doing a run club. This year, it's all about wellness activities. So this year,
there's events.
There's events. There's a guy named Jesse Itzler and I follow this guy, Devin Levesky. Or I think I butchered his last name. But Devin and Jesse Itzler started this thing called All Day Running. And the cool thing about All Day Running is they're trying to promote people to live a healthier lifestyle. Go run. After that, cool down in a cold plunge, do the sauna, repeat. It's a whole wellness retreat.
Right.
So I think they're the pioneers of these wellness activations.
Where are they? From Toronto? Or
no, based in the States. Devin Levesky actually did a whole marathon.
White guy.
Yeah.
The one crawling. Yes.
The marathon.
He's huge now.
Yeah.
He has a farm, I think. He bought a farm or something.
Sweet Honey Farms.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm done with the coffee party.
Because you realize that you have your focus. You know what your big dream is, and that's not aligned to what you're trying to do. That's the difference.
So Kyle, at the time, when I helped him do a 120-day transformation recently, I helped him do that.
The picture you posted on Instagram.
So I helped him do a transformation. He seen me doing online coaching. He's like, yo, how are you making money while you're training me on the road? This happened last year, 2024, 2023. And I was like, oh, I'm doing online coaching. He's like, how does that work? I'm like, you post me on your social media. Your followers see me. They see me have an online link saying, apply for my coaching. He's like, that's how you're making
You motherfucker.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting you in shape though.
Yeah,
he was
for
like,
free.
Yeah. So then he wanted to actually start his own. He wanted.
Because I was thinking, why didn't you just get involved with that? I guess he wanted to do
So
it.
he wanted me to be the head person for that. But in order for me to be the head person for that, I would have to drop Glorious. And
that was on the contract you're saying.
And I immediately told him, I'm like, if you were growing Nelk and someone said, hey, if Logan Paul said, yo, join my brand, drop Nelk, would you have done it? He said no. I'm like, well, I have to respond the same way. So that's
Gangster.
So that's why Glorious right now needs my full.
Because, bro, that would have been a big payday for you as well. Like, if we think about it, like to some degree,
Yeah.
especially probably back then when you needed it, it would have been good, you know?
Well, no, this is when it wasn't back then. This was like 2 years ago.
Recently, okay.
Yeah, 2 years ago or a year ago. Yeah, and I said no. I told him I can't drop it. Like I just started selling merch. My merch started selling. Like I remember my first merch drop. I think I made $3,000,
Which is still crazy.
but that's not $3,000 to the pocket.
That's probably went all into
taxes.
$500 left.
Yeah.
30 hours of work.
That's the thing is people were like, oh, yo, you should sell merch. It's like, bro, there's a lot of.
Bro, people don't realize how hard that is.
Yeah, people don't realize like you have to pay for
The
material.
expenses, yeah.
There's
The
so many
margins are
expenses.
so small.
Yeah.
So, bro, talk to me about this. Like, I want to know about like what your next plan is, like what your goals are. You have Glorious Athletics. I keep saying aesthetics.
Yeah.
Glorious Athletics. You have your coaching business. What's like the big dream? Like, what are you really trying to achieve here? What is your goal?
I just want to grow the Glorious Athletics brand for the sake of like creating like a legacy that like my parents could be proud of. Right. And like that sounds super deep and people are going to say things, but straight up, it's like I want to have like that reputation for my parents to be like, yo, their kid made it. Right. And like growing the Glorious brand is an opportunity for me to like go global. Right. And have a global reach. Now that YouTube and Instagram is starting to pop off, there's light at the end of that tunnel. Right.
You have momentum.
So me growing the merch side of my Glorious brand. Yeah. Like I said, it's going to grow as time goes on. There's a lot of expenses in XYZ. But if someone's going to enjoy rocking your shirt, saying like, yo, I can't wait to get that because I just got Christmas money. Yo, I can't wait to get that because I just worked 60 hours to save up money. Why the hell would I stop doing it?
You've heard that before.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I was that guy that did it before. Right? So I want to really go all in on my Glorious brand when it comes down to merch and the coaching. I feel like I've had so many success stories helping people with their transformations. I don't flex it enough. But having that ability to like understand, okay, this is what could work for someone. This is the solution to their issue or problem. If I have that,
and if you could be the one that put the hand on it to be like, I help this individual.
I have no issue.
The feeling.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I go all in? Right?
It would be like out of integrity almost, like to have this gift of having all this knowledge and knowing all this to not be able to help people, you know?
100%. Yeah. So I just want to go all in. My 5-year plan is to go all in on Glorious. And I feel like it's now the time to do it. I'm going to be 30 next year.
Getting old.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do? Wait till I'm 35 to try and do this?
Exactly.
Right?
Well, that's what happens, right? When life goes on, you get more responsibilities and things get harder. It's like the perfect time for you to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that whole saying of like locking in for 6 months, like
what's your thoughts on that?
I believe it.
Yeah, me too.
Do you believe it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I believe. Here's the thing, though. I don't believe it's only gonna take 6 months.
No.
People say this shit of like 6 months is all you need. I think that's no. This is like it could be a year, 2 years, 3 years.
During that 6 months, so the importance of locking in for 6 months is not just because it's like an Instagram trend.
Right.
Okay. That 6 months is going to give you that opportunity to understand the business that you're going into. It's going to teach you how to understand yourself.
Yeah.
It's going to teach you to understand your strengths and weaknesses.
Build good habits.
And post 6 months, whether you make it in the 6 months or not, the outcome out of it is you're gonna be a completely different human to take the right approach. So now, okay, my weak points after those 6 months is XYZ. Okay, I started generating a little bit of money. Let me hire that person to fill in that blank that I was a weak point. That was my weak point during the 6 months, right? These were the bad habits that I was able to improve in the 6 months. How are the next 6 months going to look with those new improvements and habits?
You just learned so much, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Being Jeff now, you're 29, right? Would you tell your younger self anything differently? Would you tell him to do something differently to get to where you're at? Like, would you have changed anything from the path you were on?
Definitely make a savings account.
Yeah.
Bro, you think about it. Like last week, I just moved out. No, 2 weeks ago, I just moved out of my old condo.
Right.
And my landlord, super nice lady, Janessa, she told me she bought her first property in first year university.
So like 20 years old. Yeah.
So could you imagine if you
had done that?
Yeah, being a guy, you let money fly.
Right.
And I couldn't really say have a savings account to actually think back. I'm like, holy fuck, I had to drain my money back then because
but this is rentals. But bro, so she might have put all her eggs in that basket, but at the same time, you put all your eggs in your knowledge and information, which to my understanding could be sometimes more scalable than real estate itself. You put all your money into you, right?
Yeah,
so technically, you are a better ROI in my opinion, because I did the same thing. I didn't have savings. I just went to London. I spent all my money in London. I had multiple coaches, but the amount of money I've spent on myself, I could have bought a fucking mansion at this point.
Yeah.
So I think maybe me and you are a little different in that way. It's like we might have not had savings, but I truly believe that the money we will be able to make will be a lot more than someone if they invested in real estate.
Yeah. No, in reality.
Do you believe in that?
Yeah, I believe in that.
But at the same time, I know what you're saying. Stability. That's what you're saying. Having some level of stability.
100%. Like I remember during that time in California, I was just rinsing my account to the T.
You didn't have a choice.
To the T. And I wanted to sacrifice everything I could to grow. Right? I lived in California. Why? To get as much exposure as possible, to learn from the bigs and all that stuff. I remember Levi, when I was training him, that's when he just started Trinity. And I was watching him, like how he had his brand, who he was developing, working with, and XYZ, seeing how he structures his socials, on how he does XYZ. When you're young, try and observe as much as possible from the people that you want to become. You might not want to become that exact person, but learn their good traits and apply it to you.
Yeah, I did the same. Take pieces of it. Right. What about a young guy now wanting, like, being very inspired by what you're doing? What advice and tips would you give them in the fitness world? Let's say they're young, they're fucking in a good shape. They want to get into coaching, right? They want to build a personal brand. What would be some advice you'd give them? They want to be like Jeff, but they don't have the skill sets, but they look good. They're going to the gym, right? They have the physique.
Well, you got to make sacrifices. I feel like that's the biggest thing, and you got to be okay with those sacrifices. You got to be comfortable with them. At the time when I was younger, I was drinking a lot. I was partying. If I had sacrificed those times of going out and drinking, maybe I would have been in a further position because I was more dialed and locked in. And don't just do things for the sake of, oh, yo, this person's doing this, let me look the exact same way. Like, I feel like you gotta take your time to actually think about like who you want to become, how you want to look, how you want to be presented, how you want to treat people. Think about those 4 things, right? Think about like how you want to be as like an individual and mold yourself into that position, if that makes sense.
It does.
Right? Yeah. Like start training daily, starting building better habits. Working out isn't just for the sake of getting that summer bod. It's like ever since I started taking working out more serious, cutting out drinking, partying, I was like, oh shit, I'm more intentional with my life now. Right? I'm more dedicated, and now I could be more dedicated to the people that want and need my help, aka my clients as a coach. So if you're young, really do that 6-month lock-in. Like do that 6-month lock-in.
Build those new habits.
And don't just work out for the sake of working out. Like work out because you want to live a better lifestyle. Don't go eat a certain diet because you're just trying to lose weight. Eat a certain diet because you want to feel better about yourself. Make a stream of income where people are actually getting value from it. Where people are like, think about that, right? Like when someone's thinking about like, hey, how am I going to make a business? okay, am I going to do this business because it's big online? Like, I'm just going to sell programs? No. Think about what someone's actually lacking in, what you're good at. If I was good at fucking landscaping, I'd have a landscaping business right now, right? But think about what you could help people with and make that a form of income. Okay. Just because people aren't doing it, just because I'm just doing fitness on social media, doesn't mean you have to do fitness on social media. Why don't you be a landscaper on social media?
It's true.
Right?
Find your passion and just use aspects of what people you're inspired by in that world.
100%. I know a guy that was vaping all the time and now he has 3 vape shops.
That's crazy. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you do.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. He has his bills being paid.
Be the best at the fucking thing you want. You love doing. Yeah. One last question, because I think this applies to my audience. We have a stigma as barbers, right? A lot of the times we use excuses of like, I don't have enough time, because a lot of barbers, as you know, the industry, because you get a lot of haircuts, they'll start at 9, they'll finish at 8, right? And they feel like they don't have time. What do you tell, like, is there a structure or thing that you would suggest for a barber if they start their day at 9, let's say, and finish at 12, or not 12, but like 6, 7 p.m.? What kind of structure would you give them for them to stay healthy? Because a lot of the times they'll say
they want to work out.
Like they want to be in good shape. Would you say, yo, fuck this, sacrifice, let's say 2 hours, don't cut hair, don't make the money, and use that time? Or would you find a different structure where they could still work in the shop, where they go to the gym after, or there's like a specific thing they could do? What recommendations do you have for them?
Okay, so as a fitness coach.
Yeah, you probably deal with this all the time.
Yeah, as a fitness coach, I deal with this all the time. I get people.
I don't have time. I'm working too much.
Exactly. So if you're telling me, okay, as a barber, I'm going to start at 9 a.m. and I finish at 6 p.m., that's music to my ears. Why? Because it's structured, right? Being a barber too, you're your own boss. You could dictate, okay, when you're going to finish, when you're going to start. Someone could start at 12 p.m.
What if they can't though? Some of them can't. Yeah.
If they can't, they start at 9 a.m. You're likely not going to go work out after your shift.
True.
You're best off working out before your shift. Now you're like, oh, Jeff, 6 a.m. suck. Well, it sucks being fat.
It's true. Which one hurts more?
Exactly. So which one hurts more? It probably hurts more to be fat, right?
100%.
Insecurities, you don't want to take your shirt off. And that's not, I'm not.
And even like energy wise.
I'm not fat shaming people. Exactly to your point. I was going to go in that direction. Energy, how you feel throughout the day, and just your lack of like discipline. When you create that discipline through training, you become disciplined with so many other things. So it's like, yo, I can't go cut you at 9 p.m. because I need to be in bed by 9, right? So if I'm going to talk to you and I'm getting you on board for coaching, if you're someone working from 9 to 8 p.m., I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to train at 6 a.m. Or at least set your alarm clock for 6:30.
Like when you say 6 a.m., like they're at the gym at 6 a.m.?
No.
They're
waking up. They're waking up at 6 or 6:30 a.m., right? Don't work out at the gym at 6 a.m. That's crazy. You start at 9. Yeah. So you wake up, you hydrate, take your electrolytes, you start working out, you get to the gym by 7:30 latest. Now you can work out from 7:30 to 8:30. From 8:30 to 9, you have time to freshen up and go straight to the shop. But now they're like, Jeff, how do I structure my meal planning?
That's it, yeah.
Now you have your Sundays. Sundays, you're not really cutting, right? It's family day.
Yeah.
So Sunday, that's when you do your meal prepping. Prepare your lunch and prepare your breakfast. Dinner, since you get off at 8 p.m., you can go home and make a fresh meal. Just make sure it's seasoned in the fridge. So with all my clients that I train, I like to tell them it's all about structuring things ahead of time. And just because you work at 9 a.m. and you finish at 8 p.m. doesn't mean that you can't work out. That means you just have to go to bed earlier. True. Right? And the thing with me and the biggest change that I've noticed with like my training and my obsession with fitness is I'm doing this for the long game of like, I want to be healthier. I want to be a strong dad. I want to be a dad where like people look at me like
more than taking the picture for the shirt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Looking good.
135%. And ever since I switched up my mindset to be like, yo, I want to be healthier.
Naturally, you will look better.
Naturally, you'll look better because you're showing up to the gym now. Right? You're showing up to the gym. You're eating your meals. You're saying no to certain things. And there's no better feeling as you get older or as a business owner when you get a good night's sleep.
So true, man. And I think, would you agree to this? Like if someone is like starting from nothing, right? Whether they're a little bit, fat, whatever, they've never gone to the gym. Would you not say the first thing you should focus on is the small win of just like waking up at 6 and just showing up at the gym? And then for the first, like, let's say 2-3 weeks, like that's your job, like so then you're disciplined enough that you showed up, and then the next thing is like, okay, let's go harder at the gym? Or would you say go all in, like start with a crazy
No, don't go
workout?
all in. Don't go all in. That's like telling a crackhead stop doing crack.
Yeah, you can't,
Right?
you got to give them crumbs.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta give the crackhead the crumbs first. And as a coach, I always tell my clients that, like, one of my clients had a call with recently. They're like, "Yo, how come I feel like I'm eating more than I normally am?" And I'm like, "Before you worked with me, you're eating one meal a day. All of a sudden, you ask for my coaching. I'm giving you 4 meals a day. That fourth meal being a shake. So you have 3 actual food meals." He's like, "How come I'm eating so much?" And I'm like, "Would you have rather me give you a diet where like you're so restricted, no carbs at all? Or would you rather have me gradually get you into it?" He's cool. "I'd rather have you gradually get into it." I'm like, "That's
So
my
listen
point."
to me.
So listen to me. And that's the thing is, like, as a barber, for anyone that wants to take away from it, if you're trying to find your fitness schedule, is choose the mornings over the evenings every single time and slowly chip away at it. Like for me, I was waking up at 8 a.m. for such a long time. And 8 a.m. is late for the big dogs.
Right.
So what I had to do was I had to start training myself. Okay, you know what? I'm going to wake up at 7. Okay, you know what? I'm going to wake up at 6:30. So now I could wake up naturally without the alarm at 6:30. Right? I'm trying to get to the 5 a.m. but that's going to take some
That's
time.
crazy, yeah.
Right?
What is
But
your routine now? I guess, yeah. What is it?
Routine now is wake up for 6:30. Wake up for 6:30, have my water, electrolytes, have my coffee, respond to my client messages, making
So straight
sure
to work.
straight to work. But during that time where I'm making my coffee and I'm having that water, no phone, no nothing. Like I just want to be present with like
Your clients.
just want to be present with like myself, right? I want to hear my coffee machine go off. I don't want to have any distractions. Once my coffee is made and I had my electrolytes with water, do my client work, get into deep work for at least an hour or 2. After that,
so that's around, let's say 8, 9 now.
yeah,
Right.
8 or 9.
Gym, is that happening later on in the day?
No, then that's when I'll go gym then.
Okay.
So it's either a run or a gym workout. So I'd have like my dial stack, which is my pre-workout electrolytes, more electrolytes. Then I work out or dial, workout or run. Then I come back home, have my post-workout meal. During this time, from the gym to the post-workout meal, I'm already editing my post for that day.
You're still doing the edits?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I have my editor, but he just strictly does YouTube. But as of recently, he does it like a few reels here and there. But I still want to make sure I have full control of doing that.
George Hean talks about that too.
Really?
That he still does his editing. He wants control over that.
Yeah.
He still is. He's very much the visionary.
Because you want to make sure, like, no matter what craft you're in, you want to make sure you still keep some sort of creativity.
Yeah.
Right? Like my boy who owns his welding company with his dad, his creativity is fucking laying pipe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's the best at it.
And he's the best at it. Right? So you always got to have some sort of creative feature to you on your day-to-day schedule.
Yeah.
But yeah, after I do that post-workout meal, do my post, I go back to deep work with clients. And then after that, I got to message people overseas for my merch. And then have my dinner with my girl, have some Netflix.
And that's your day.
That's my day.
And that's what people don't realize. It's the redundant stuff. It's like the day-to-day. Your probably routine doesn't change. Your days probably feel the same
In the last
to some degree, right?
In the last few months, it's been out of whack because coffee party,
right,
and XYZ. But as of late, in the last little bit that I moved into my new place, it's been very routine.
Do you enjoy the routine more than the traveling and all that?
100%.
Really?
Yes. Traveling,
which is interesting because people look at that and they're like, bro, Jeff is doing it. Like, I would love to do that. But funny enough, you're saying the mundane day-to-day stuff is the thing you enjoy the most rather than the sporadic like travels and trips.
I used to love the sporadic trips. But the thing that turned for me was time. Once you run your business, time is everything. You know what I mean? And when you're traveling, you're fucking sitting at the airport 2 hours beforehand. After that, your flight is 6 hours or 4 hours. Then it takes 40 minutes to get to the hotel.
Where your training's a little fucked. Your food is a little fucked because you're not eating at the same time. And then you just lost momentum a little bit.
Exactly. So there's a lot of ups and downs for it. So like that's why I I love my routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, I appreciate you coming down, bro. It's been a fucking pleasure. You're killing it. I've told you this
Appreciate it.
before. It's amazing to see, especially from someone that's in Toronto. I actually have a personal question I want to ask you. We'll end it with this. Are you sticking around in Toronto, or are you?
Yeah.
You will be.
Yeah.
You think you'll be here forever?
I see myself like residing in like downtown Oakville by the water.
Okay.
That's my biggest goal. My biggest goal is to be as close to the water as possible, but being at home.
Because of the family.
Yeah, because of family for sure.
Yeah.
Whether it be Port Credit or downtown Oakville.
Just a house in Oakville.
Yeah, house in Oakville would be.
I could see with a family.
Yeah, primo.
You probably have your. Would you open a gym?
No,
Okay.
I'll never open a gym.
Okay.
I'll never open a gym.
I said the same thing about barbershops.
Really?
Yeah, I closed mine down.
Well, that's why you closed it down, right? So I don't want to open a gym just to close it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because the thing is, you have more freedom, in my opinion, when you don't have a shop.
And it's not just because I'm lazy or whatever. It's like I'm coaching people all over the world. So if I'm gonna just
You're limited. Yeah.
yeah, and if I do a gym, then it's gonna require energy that's gonna take away from the Glorious brand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even though it is gonna build the Glorious brand, there's too many headaches that comes with it.
And I think for people watching, the biggest takeaway I think from this is that you've now gone to a point in your life where you've just started saying no to things, and I think that's
Yeah.
powerful.
That's the hardest thing that anybody could do. Going back to what we were talking about before is like, there's three types of people. There's three types of guys. There's the guy that's building a business who's constantly saying yes to every business venture. Then there's the guy that's chasing women and different with different women
every
and
week.
can't say no. And then there's the guy that's constantly going out drinking and can't say no to the bar. Right?
Yeah. Choose
So-
what you want.
Choose what? No, well, don't be any
Don't
of
any
those
of them.
guys. Say fucking no.
At least the business is better, but say no to things. Exactly.
Exactly.
Stick to one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bro, appreciate you, man. Seriously.
No, I appreciate
Thank
you. Thanks for having me.